This is Resident Evil 9's Insanity Mode, where you're one touch away from ending up like Raccoon City. Enemies also have new spawns, faster movement speed, and are generally much tougher to deal with. So naturally, speedrunners have been injecting it directly into their veins. The community has been hard at work labbing skips, setups, and strategies that have trimmed the insanity runs down to just under 2 hours. And in this video, we're taking a look at the biggest skips and craziest strats to see just how they did it. The first skip of Resident Evil Requiem is actually optional. That's because the community voted to include a no intro category that skips Grace's investigation and flashback sequence at the hotel, Leon's intro sequence, and part of the care center intro as well. In total, it saves around 7 minutes. And it's similar to what happened with the Resident Evil 3 remake, where runs ended up being categorized by intro or no intro. In Requiem, no intro begins when Grace gets the lighter, just before we meet Marie and see our first 2 examples of speedrun tech. First, the skip past Marie. Doing this saves a ton of time over the normal sequence, where Grace would normally run to this room with the lights for safety. Not only is waiting here slow, it also sets up the next scripted encounter with Marie, which is very slow, and it puts you at risk of being grabbed. But if you're able to slip by during the initial encounter, it can all be skipped, and it lines us up perfectly for our next trick with the cart. You know, before Requiem released, I remember footage of Marie hitting that cart into Grace and thought that was pretty cool. Little did I know, it would actually lead to one of the coolest tricks in Resident Evil 9. You know, I love when you get the enemies to help you. I think we can now consider Marie an ally. Grace can tame some other monsters as well. She can dance around Chunk by looking to the left and down when picking up this ID bracelet. Doing this lets us get the corrosive much quicker, and it sets up a really funny one-shot kill on Chunk. After finessing our way past Chunk again, we can sneak into the reception area, careful not to disturb the blood bag zombie. He hates noise, and he hits like a truck. So by throwing a bottle into the doorway, we can actually trick the blood bag zombie into helping us. That's another monster befriended.
This is bad.
Later, Grace finds herself in the basement. Here, Grace has some more tricks to avoid the girl. After squeezing through this fence, we pick up a tool that'll help us complete the area later, but Marie shows up and blocks us on the way back. A safe but quick strat is to fire your handgun to get her attention, and then lead her around the room before running through the fence. But if you're feeling brave, you can try something even faster, like this trick here, demonstrated by Trance.
I'll explain.
No matter which method you choose, the next trick is coming up soon. While we're making our way back, Marie cuts us off again, forcing Grace to take shelter in the save room. And while we're in here, we might as well save and then reload our game just to see what happens. Oh hey, that's pretty helpful. That trick basically puts the girl into idle mode for a bit. While you casually make your way to the next area, consider the friendship with Marie back on. You may have noticed that most of the clips have been in first person. This is because it's generally faster and it's the preferred camera choice for speedruns. But there are still some areas that use third person instead, such as the lab escape with Grace. That's because she gets a quicker run animation while in third person that really speeds things up for this segment. Another third person section is the Leon vs Hunk fight. But before I show you that, let's talk about Leon's gameplay in general. Obviously, Leon is all about the combat. A lot of his speedrun tech is really just learning when to upgrade your weapons and buy ammo and how to execute the fights. And there are some fights.
Boom. Boom. They sit in this corner, throw it in this gap. Boom. Comes over here. Kick him. Throw it again. Axe this motherfucker. Bang. Come over here. Kick the bastard. And then that's it. This is why I love speedrunning, man.
Leon has some crazy fun fights on Insanity Mode that feel really good to pull off. Learning to clear these rooms and destroy bosses in a speedy fashion is a big part of Leon's segments. And while that's usually pretty straightforward, he does have some cool tricks in there as well, like how the explosive is used to expose the spider's weak spot during that boss fight. Or the way you can look up and avoid all of your problems.
Strat's supposed to work every time, dude.
What?
In fact, looking away from enemies to avoid them has kind of been a thing in this series for a while now.
You guys want to see an epic strat?
I especially like it during the valve turning part with Leon. You have to turn this wheel and create a bridge that you can use to escape the area. But of course there's a ton of enemies there, making it difficult. Some people try just staring up to avoid damage, or you can look away at the last second instead. The strats are always changing, but I hope the insta-kill on Hunk never changes. First, you have to set it up by swapping to third person and making a purchase at the box to cause an autosave. Or you could just do a hard save, whichever. Either way, reload your game after you reach the checkpoint before Hunk. Then you should have a small window to quick kill Hunk by mashing the attack once the fight begins.
I didn't realize I had such a big fan. How about an autograph?
Restarting and trying again is still somewhat quick, but this skip is honestly kind of a troll, which can make it both fun to watch and painful to speedrun. Leon still has some bosses at the end of the game that he actually fights though. The boss fight with X is about hitting quick shots on his chest, while making sure your positioning is always lined up to keep the tyrant under control. And the final boss is more or less the same vibe, but with more parries. You want to parry this kick especially, and then land some shots while he's stunned. Eventually, he picks up a rocket launcher that he'll kindly hand over. And after we use it, the real fight begins, again. Yeah, it's basically the end of RE3 Remake. There are some nice grenade throws to line up, some weak spots to shoot, you know the drill by now. Still, what a crazy run. Insane even.
Dude, I lost so much time, man.
Of course, it's still early in the game's life, and I'm sure there are new strats and skips just waiting to be discovered. Let me know if you end up trying any of these tricks in your next playthrough. Now that I'm out of major speedrun tech to show you, I just want to mention that there are about a million other things that speedrunners are doing to get such great times. And if you're ever trying to improve your own time, or just get an achievement, you can learn a lot from just watching them. So check out their stuff, links are in the description of this video. Thanks for watching.